This is 5.8 in Signing Naturally. In your book, it's page 261 and on. We're talking about telling about something that's an out of the ordinary activity. Out of the ordinary what they mean here is something that's not mundane, everyday thing that you would normally do. If someone were to ask you, how are you doing? You would say, oh, fine. So when you're not saying fine, or you wanted to talk about something, but I did, as he's demonstrating here on page 261, it's like, I have an idea. I'm going to tell you something. So the hand coming up like that, or like that. They're showing it here with the palm facing in. Either way. When going to page 262, when you're discussing out of the ordinary, you usually, like they're talking about here on the bottom 261, first you tell when it happened. You talk about the activity, who was involved, if you were involved, using plural pronouns. Yourself. Touch my face. I have to use sanitizer. Tell what you did, giving details, elaborating on it. And you just comment on your experience, what you would do in English or any other language. So on, like I said, page 262, when telling part of the day, part of the day, here he's saying last Sunday afternoon, and he's using the sign here for afternoon, and I've never seen that for afternoon. I always see that for afternoon, the palm open like that. So morning is like that, noon, afternoon, evening. The sun's gone down. Remember, the sun is going, the sunrise, sunset. This is actually the sign for sunrise. Sunrise, sunset. So he's talking about last Sunday afternoon. Tell with who? Here he's saying his brother and I. My brother and I. So like they're saying, I believe in the text here, they're not saying you don't need to say brother, me. It's assumed when you introduce the K hand, us two, that you are one of the two, and the middle finger pointing towards you. So brother, my brother and I. Brother being there, I'm here, brother and I. Tell what you did on page 263, and then comment on the activity. I enjoyed it. It was awful. I hated it. Hate. I didn't like it. I liked it. It was fun. You often see, and I think this is introduced later, you often see deaf people, to emphatically say they really had fun, they will often fingerspell. That really adds emphasis to the word fun. On page 264, we're going through plural pronouns, which I just described you to, and we've done that previously in unit, I believe in unit 4. The 3 of us, palms always up. The 4 of us, palm always up. Number 4, 5 of us, and that's where it ends. 6 of us. Or is there going here, all of us? Time concept introduced on 265. Here, just to give you an idea, they're using a calendar to show you when things happened. So if, like, we're on the 18th now, which is a Wednesday, and we wanted to refer back to the 16th, which is this past Monday, I could do 2 things. I could do 2 days ago. This is 2 days ago, with your index finger on your chin in the V hand shape, and you just come back like this. That's 2 days ago. Or, that's an exception because it just happens to be 2 days ago. Or when we wanted to talk about last Monday, I would go last Monday. Always the sign for past. Here, we're still on the 18th, and we wanted to talk about something that's happening in the future. So, for example, we're going to talk about something that's happening on the it's the 18th, which is a Wednesday. We're going to talk about something that's happening next Monday. So it would go next, future Monday. Or if we're on the 18th and you wanted to talk about last week, and I've introduced this sign before, I believe, here you go, week. Make the sign for week, and then you come behind you. Week. For last week. Along the same line of reasoning, last month. Last month. This is the sign for last year. Last year. Your hands like that. Last year. Going over to page 267. Here he's talking about last Monday. The same idea. Last week Monday. Last week Monday, as opposed to what we did here, or what we might next week Monday, or next Monday. 2 weeks Monday, in 2 weeks, 2 weeks ago Monday. Those are the kind of the 3 weeks in the future Monday, or just 3 weeks in general in the future. You're doing the sign 3 weeks, and then you're bringing your hand forward. So 3 weeks. 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9 weeks. You can use the same sign going backwards. Last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, and so on. So last week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and so on. Here they're just giving you very specific, like last Monday, or last Monday, or last week Monday, or 2 weeks ago Monday. You decide. You'll see where you're going on the calendar, and based upon what you want to talk about, you'll modify your sign, obviously. Let's see. And here they go for like on the 18th, and you're going to the 27th next Friday, which is kind of confusing because I'm not sure. Next Friday could be a bit confused by some people. If you're on the 18th Wednesday, they might not be sure if you're talking about the 20th, 2 days from now, or if you're talking about a week and 2 days from now. So next Friday, probably how I would indicate this coming Friday is the future, but indicating a short span of time. So notice the facial expression, not future, just the very short, distant future Friday. And I think that's it. Let's see. Let me go through the vocabulary here for 4-8. Some of the signs I've already showed you. 1 week ago, last week, next week. Weekend. A couple of signs for weekend. I don't know what they're going to show you on signing naturally, but I'll show you the 2 signs that are commonly used. Weekend, or weekend. Weekend. Don't mind, we did that. Excuse me, I'm sorry. That was from the other. Morning. Think of the sun coming up. Morning. Noon. Resting on the downward palm of your hand. Afternoon. And night. The sun has already gone down. All day. Beach is a fingered spelled sign. Beach. Museum. Your M's, and imagine yourself just making the shape of a building. So the letter M, like that. Museum. Just happens to also be the state sign for the state of Montana. Just so you know. Birthday, we've done that before. Birthday. Party, the letter P. Sometimes you'll see more ASL, strong ASL, grassroots deaf people using this for party, the sign for play, party. If someone wanted to throw a party, in this instance, as in many other languages, we use the words, the concept of taking or having, adopting or having a party. So I would take up a party, take up a party, or take up a party. House, you've done before. Bar, important sign to know, right? Bar, the modified A with the thumb out like that. Bar, bar. Celebrate, we've done that before. Club is a fingered spelled sign. Roller coaster, imagine, I think we've talked about this before. The classifier for two people or yourself in a roller coaster car like that. So roller coaster, usually modified with like this, going up and then going down like that. So roller coaster. And I've also seen it with the classifier used for that motion too. So roller coaster. Or you can just describe the actual loops of the roller coaster. If the roller coaster was like this, it went up, and then it went whatever. You get the idea. Us two, us three, us four, us five. All of us. Skiing. Your X hands like that. Skiing, skiing, skiing. Swimming, the motion of swimming, as if you're pushing the water as you move through the water. Sunbathing, this is being the sun, like that, sunbathing. You might even do that to indicate that you're laying down in the sun on the beach. To listen, a couple of signs for listen. I think the one they have here is the C hand up by the ear. You may also see this for listening, the modified crooked 3 hand. Like that for listening, and actually that is often used as in the act of listening, or concert listen or concert listen. Again, music, your hand like this, your passive palm down, and then your modified B hand like that. Music. Also seeing the palm actually facing to the side as well for the passive hand like that. Shopping. Shopping. Remember, to buy repeatedly, you're shopping. Adopt or host, we've done that already. To visit someone, it's like that. If someone's visiting you, this is what's called a verb agreement sign. So if someone's visiting me, you may have actually see the sign for this, and it may be that way in your videos, actually people coming to your house, coming to visit you at your house, as opposed to this, which is a bunch of people asking you questions. You see, you're making the question sign. To drink, we've done that. Pool, or to play pool, I think is what they're talking about here. Pool, this being the pool table, and this being the person with the pool cue stick. To dance, we've done that before. Basketball, your 3 hands normally, they may show it as your 5 hands, I think, in the book, but I've always seen it with your 3 hands like this. Enjoy, pleasure. Up until now. You take your hands like your index finger of your passive and your dominant fingers like this, from over your shoulder coming forward like that. Up until now. Up until now. Same old, a couple of signs I'll show you for that. And the one I think they have in the book is, I don't think it's quite right because they're showing it like this. This is it's more of a circular motion instead of an up and down motion like this. This is kind of like monotonous, the same old thing, same old. So it's your Y hands, palms down, doing a slight circle like that. Another sign for that is kind of slang, is this sign right here. You come with your palm down, your 5 hand out like that, and you come into the S hand. This means that's really old. I'm getting tired of it. That's so Friday. I'm so over it. Boy, is that just it's almost like you're saying, okay, boomer. So that's old, don't need to go there. Okay, that's it. The next one is vocabulary.